All right, secret comp, right? I'm just gonna tell you the comp, and you're gonna roll your eyes, and I'm gonna explain why it has the potential to be really amazing. Okay. All right. 5 paladins. All right. That's the intro here, right? 5 paladins. Now you guys are thinking to yourself, all right, you've seen 5 paladins, right? But I've been playing them, and they've already been they're at level 54 right now, right? But they're already feeling really good, and it's 5 prot. Prot's amazing right now, but the hardest thing you're gonna have is on 5 tanks, right? Is doing damage on a boss, because the trash you just churn through slowly but surely. Your AOE is awesome, and you can take on a full pack, multiple packs, not a problem. It's the bosses that are an issue, because you can't survive forever on mechanics, right? But Prot Paladin right now, and it could get nerfed, right? But it's tuned to be appropriate. The Venthyr ability Ashen Hollow is insane, and I'm going to show you something here while this is going, and I'm going to explain why this is amazing. Hold on. Yoink. Let's see. Chrome. Boom. Okay. Really? Have you tried it, Sinlos? Have you tried it recently? They just nerfed it, like within the last 3 days. They nerfed Torghast. And also, are you Venthyr? Because the Venthyr is really important. So I'm going to show you here today. Oh, okay, wow. I'm not sure then, because my DPS was looking. You're Venthyr as well. Okay. Well, maybe I'm just overhyping it then. But take a look, right? This is the potential of it. Okay. So this is just one boss. This guy's eye level is 205, so it's a little high, right? But the important things to note here is he did 3,100 DPS in the fight. Where if you look at this, it's kind of crazy. Okay, the Prot Paladin's damage is higher than a lot of the other like actual DPS in the group. Like if you look at the grand scheme of things, the Prot Paladin beat out a Havoc Demon Hunter, an Arms Warrior, 2 Fire Mages, a Boomkin, and 2 Shadow Priests, and a Marks Hunter, another. No, I'm sorry. This is the Vengeance Demon. So he beat out all these other people. Okay, now if you look at this, if I go back, this is the talents he has that makes this crazy. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna be working on probably like on the Paladin comp to like kind of like boost them up a little bit. For Venthyr, one of the things you should do, the legendary, you get Hammer of Wrath deals 30% additional damage and extends the duration of Crusade, right? When you drop this, the biggest thing here is Ashen Hollow. Ashen Hollow does it's a 30-second AOE like blah, like, right? And I'll show it to you right now. Okay, this is what it looks like. Right? Well, look, we're in game right now. Okay, let's get in game real quick. So this is Ashen Hollow. Okay, Ashen Hollow. 2,000 mana. The mana, I guess, is irrelevant, right? It's a 4-minute cooldown. That's why it takes a while, okay? But it drops an AoE on the ground. The target. Boom. We're gonna hit it right here. Massive AoE. This last 30 seconds. You can do as many Hammer of Wrath as you can possibly chuck out in this time. Like, so you pop it when the mob's already at high health, because after 20% or lower on their health, you can DPS them anyway. All right. So it does crazy AoE, and you can see right here it does crazy healing as well at the same time. And on top of that, you get a conduit. Now let me switch back to the conduits here, right? The conduit that they're getting right here is this one right here. Ashen Hollow strikes the lowest health ally and enemy within it for an additional time for 40% of its effect. That's the base, right? If you once you work this bad boy up, it gets really strong. Let me show you here. Let's go with the Soulbind Calculator. Kyrian. Does it say what I am? A Prot Paladin. Paladin. Right here. Paladin, right? It doesn't say I'm Prot though. Let's see here. Which one is it? What was it called? Blade, no. Shocks, Shield of Righteous, Holy Light, Divine Toll. Wait, no, we're in Venthyr. That's what the problem is. I'm hyping Venthyr here, and I'm not even looking at the right thing. Right here. The baseline is 40%, right? Now, when you work this out, when you get even item level like 200, which I've already gotten some of these, okay? You're at 56% more damage, and that's every single tick. It's hitting. So imagine you're on the boss, right? It's ticking for whatever the damage is, and on top of that, it's doing another 56% damage. On top of that, yeah, we're definitely going Venthyr. I don't know what the Kyriad thing was. It was just the default on there. So it's like a double hit every time it's going. Now, on top of all that, you have the Hammer of Wrath doing 30% additional damage, and you're proccing your Avenging Wrath. It's getting an extra second every time you do a Hammer of Wrath. And within an Ashen Hollow, you should get at least 4 hammers off, right? At least, maybe 5. Maybe is it 5? So you're adding 5 extra seconds to your super burst window, okay? Now, on top of doing all that damage, you can kind of see here what this looks like. So the most important part is we need to make fights not last long, right? And we're doing a boss. So let's look at what the fight looked like on the boss. This is really, so this is somebody that's at eye level 205, and they did Shriekwing, and I'm only gonna look at the very, very beginning of the fight, and hopefully you guys can see this cleanly, okay? But if we're looking at the very beginning of the fight, this is for this specific Paladin, this Prot Paladin on a Shriekwing mythic fight. And obviously he's super buffed, but he's only eye level 205. And I say only, right? Because that shouldn't be that hard for us to get in a couple weeks, maybe to a month or so, right? It's something you can push for, okay? And you can see a large majority of his damage is Hammer of Wrath and Ashen Hollow, and then this Hallowed and Discernment. It's basically comboed together, and that's making up a huge chunk of the whole piece of the pie, okay? But the really interesting thing here too is if you look at this window, right? This window is showing how much damage he did in that time. So I want to say, like right here, you can see at the 40 second mark, his DPS drops down to about, let's say, 2.5k DPS, which is still really good. But he peaks over here at what looks like 12.5k DPS, if not higher. So if you look at the whole thing, we're gonna say over the course of 40 seconds, he was probably able to pump out at least 10,000 DPS per second as a Prot Paladin for 40 seconds. 10k DPS over 40 seconds is what he was chunking right there, right? At least. And that's not crazy eye level. Eye level 205, heroic is 213, mythic is 223. So like we're talking about like the in between normal and heroic, like closer to normal than even heroic, and you can pump out 10k DPS over 40 seconds. So 10k DPS over 40 seconds, right, is 400,000 damage. 400,000 damage. I'm sorry, that's over 30 seconds. If you do 40 seconds, no, I'm sorry, I did right, 40 seconds. Yeah, 400,000 damage over 40 seconds, right? The goal is you want to drop a boss typically in under a minute before the mechanics get out of hand for us multiboxing. So if you do 400k times 5, you are now at 2 million damage in 40 seconds. There isn't a single boss right now that's even close to 2 million hit points, like on regular. Like when I do mythics, the mythic bosses are like 560k. If I was able to do this kind of DPS, obviously I'd be outgearing it, but I'd drop the boss in like 15 seconds, like if that. Like it's basically doing the Druid Burst Convoke of Spirits. This is what I'm going to be pushing for, I think, as a combo, because on top of that, I can also leverage this team and probably do really well with them in PvP, unless they start nerfing them quite a bit. But as of right now, the Ret Paladins look really strong too. So I'm trying to make a team that's PvE viable as well as PvP, and I think this is it. Just for you can see this window, this massive burst window, and then over here, this is when he drops Ashen Hollow again. It doesn't get quite up to the 10k DPS, but you're looking at another big chunk in here. Yeah, a little shock. I'm telling you on this. This is Kyrian is really good for overall fights, but our biggest weakness is bosses. And this is when it shines. And later in the day, right here, I'm just gonna do one more mythic, and then I'll log on the paladins, and I'll show you again like how clean how easy it feels, right? But the most important part is the bosses on there. But yeah, that burst window when you first open up, I mean, like you literally you're just chunking down the boss. It's absolutely bananas nuts, which is good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Single Prot, yeah. As far as the other things that for Venthyr though, I mean, like the Door of Shadows, we never use that ability. It's kind of cool, but it's not something that we can take advantage of. But that ability right there is crazy powerful.